Welcome to the Today's Leader podcast, the podcast for the leaders and entrepreneurs of today.
Way to go, guys. Way to go. Keep it going. Good job, guys. All right, Paul. I see you. All right, John. Finish us. Coach Cole.
Great job, guys.
Hey there, it's Coach Curl here, and welcome to episode 310 of the Today's Leader podcast, the podcast for the leaders and entrepreneurs of today. One of the great challenges that is faced by small and medium business is the capability of their front line and their first time management. Now, last week I spoke about the downfalls of first time managers or first time leaders. And during the week that's been, we've received some feedback in relation to that people are looking for like a framework that they can provide for their frontline leaders or their first-time leaders. And what I know about the small business industry or the small business networks is that it's renowned for people creating businesses from a specialist skill set that they have, and the business grows based on the successful application of that particular skill set. And to continue to grow means employing staff and putting in teams, and that's often seen as a minefield for many, many business owners. In fact, many businesses make the choice to limit the growth of the business, to limit their growth, so that they can remain a single-person business. And this saves themselves the hassle and the stress of employing staff and building teams. Now, the owner is often the foundation of the business because of their technical skills, and the ability to manage process and lead people is often overlooked. We don't necessarily go out there and develop ourselves to be a better manager or a better leader. And what we see is that the resultant productivity and performance issues for the business, and often, as we noted last week as one of the downfalls, an attitude of I'm better off doing it by myself. Now, we see this in small business regularly. It's supported by ongoing research that gets conducted here in Australia, and it started way back in 1995 with the Carpen Report, which comprehensively reported on Australian management capability. These studies continue to show that Australian small and medium business have significant scope to increase performance and productivity by enhancing leadership and management capability. They show that we have a strength in operational leadership where we often will rank above average in the world. However, we rate it average or below in areas of overall performance and people. And that small and medium-sized businesses are the ones that wear the cost of this. Now, there was another research report done in 2009 called Management Matters, and it reported that corporate and larger businesses perform better in the key areas of performance and people than small to medium enterprises. No surprise there, I guess. And it's also no surprise that family businesses suffer more than the small to medium enterprises in general. So generally, leadership in a family business is one of the greatest challenges faced in business. Those in these situations tend to accept it as a part of a cost of doing business. Now, firms that can unlock the management capability conundrum and build leadership effectiveness will create a greater sense of accountability and a more productive workplace. I'll just repeat that. They'll create a greater sense of accountability and a more productive workplace. And that's the small to medium business enterprise challenge. Now, some research indicates that sales per employee can increase by up to, wait for it, 50% with greater engagement from team members. 50% through greater engagement from team members. And that research was conducted in the Management Matters report in 2009. Engagement is a clear indicator of management and leadership capability. So think about that. employees can increase their sales by up to 50% with greater engagement from team members. Wow. Now, as owners, many people tend to focus on cash flow, systems, processes, marketing, all those operational demands of our business, losing sight of the impact that leadership and management training can do. Now, we do not gain the benefit of effective leadership and management because of this. Now, we rely on our people to become natural leaders based on their own competences, and our results will speak for themselves. So instead of developing leaders, we believe innately that they should be able to develop their own natural leadership skills. And as we know, that just does not happen in the vast majority of the cases. So good businesses build a solid framework around how they manage and how they lead. Now, these leadership models that we talk through, so we'll often talk about a leadership model within an organisation. These leadership models are useful for businesses to create a framework for their managers and leaders to operate in. Good leadership models create a performance culture based on good leadership practices. So there's no surprise that leaders that have and use a leadership model create a competitive advantage in their industry. So the four key components for any leadership model is A, culture. So that's about our people and how we develop a strong performance-orientated culture. We have strategy, which is linked once again to the concept of performance. We have a foundation, which is about our values and the way that we behave and interact with each other. And we also have our vision, which is where is the business heading, what are the goals? So culture, strategy, foundation, and vision. Now, the model incorporates business performance and people, and the key here for organizations is to invest in the creation of a leadership model, which then starts to provide that framework that we desire for our frontline or our first-time leaders. The model incorporates performance, it incorporates strategy, it incorporates the way that we're going to live with each other, the way that we're going to behave with each other. And that's why leadership models are effective. They provide the basis for the way in which your people in your business will behave, manage, lead, and drive results. And it starts with the leader. It starts with a really good understanding and reflection and awareness of where the organisation currently sits, the history of results. It starts when the business owner analyses how they've previously led others, how they've looked at how to create success from the past. We combine that with our core values and our principles, and this starts providing the foundation for the creation of your own leadership model. So, and I always say your own because, yes, you can go to any organisation, many organisations, many leadership development organisations, they'll provide you a leadership model. But really, it's got to be something that you as a business owner, that you as a leader can buy into and align with. So the leadership models that are available there as a off-the-shelf option, of course, they've got some proven functionality, some proven performance about them, but it really is about you deciphering what it is that you need in your leadership model. Understanding what your leadership style is, what have you used previous to build success, and it helps you then ascertain how you're going to build success in the future. Creating your own leadership model for your organisation. And when I talk leadership models, when used effectively, become your business model. Become your business model. I know the organisations that I've worked with in the past were fairly centered around their leadership model. And this is the way that we build trust. This is the way we develop people. This is the way we inspire action. And this is the way we drive performance. Really clear aspects of this is the way we lead in this organization. And then on top of that, every time you're looking at something new, that becomes part of the blueprint or the framework from which you then make business decisions. So support your frontline, your first-time leaders by giving them a framework, the framework of a leadership model for your business that's delivered and led and role modeled by you. Hey, this is Coach Curl. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Today's Leader podcast, the podcast for the leaders and the entrepreneurs of today. Thanks for tuning in. We return next week with some amazing new interviews. I look forward to sharing them with you. I'll talk to you again real soon. Bye for now.